So I tried to get into making videos again multiple times, but it's very hard having a newborn. So I compromised with my expectations of what to do when making a video, and here we are doing a little audio type podcast video. So, or audio, whatever. So bear with me while I try to figure out and juggle motherhood and doing YouTube videos. Sometimes they may be audio, sometimes maybe they may even be video. I don't know what I'm able to do, but we're working with what we got here. While I'm figuring things out, if you would like to join my Patreon and be a part of the fam, where we have a Discord and we talk things out, I would absolutely love to see you there. But aside from that, let's get into today's video. So today's video is on accepting failure, and what inspired me to make this video was obviously with being a new mom and trying to work and do my YouTube channel. I definitely have felt like a failure lately, and it got me thinking, there's so many people that fear failure and don't know how to deal with this. I was like, perfect topic, let's talk about it. So why do we view failure as bad? One, we feel like it reflects our self-worth. We feel bad about ourselves when we feel like we failed. We feel worthless, we feel empty, we feel depressed. So we want to stay away from any type of failure so we don't feel worthless or like we're nothing. Also, we feel embarrassment and shame. We're thinking about how our peers are viewing us, or how we are different than everybody and we're not at the same playing field or level as our peers because we're failing. And failing is something that's not often talked about. Oftentimes we hear about people succeeding and people accomplishing their dreams, but not many people talk about how they failed and they, didn't get to move forward and they weren't able to accept their failure. So can be an embarrassment and you can feel shameful about it because we keep it very hush-hush. It's a taboo topic. Another reason why we view failure as bad is it threatens our ego and it makes us feel bad about ourselves. So our ego tries to protect us from any type of negativity. So if we admit failure, if we talk about failure, then our own self feels bad. And our ego will prevent us from admitting that we failed. There's like this very uncomfortable feeling that we try to prevent feeling. So we will completely say, there is no failure, I'm not failing, or we won't even try to prevent dealing with any type of failure. Now, what is the opposite of failure? It's obviously success. Let's talk about success. Success is subjective, and each person has their own version of success. Success means to achieve your own goals and dreams. Key word is our own goals and dreams. Something that can alter our success is comparison. What others do and succeed isn't necessarily what you need to do to succeed. Just because you aren't doing the same as your peers doesn't mean that you're failing. So if you see someone succeeding, like maybe on Instagram, or they have their own business, or you have their own family, it doesn't mean that you are doing bad. You can't compare their journey and the things that they've been doing. Maybe they've had certain advantages that you don't, maybe have certain setbacks. You can't compare because you guys have lived two very different lives, or you live different lives than your peers. You have to personally define what's meaningful to you that you want to accomplish. Figure what you want and not what you think you're supposed to do, and then you go for it. You have your own definition of success. You have to decide, what does success mean to you? Does success mean having a family? Does success mean running your own business? Does success mean feeling healthy? Does success mean loving yourself? What is your own definition of success? One of the reasons why you may be failing is because you're not trying to accomplish your own goals, and you are trying to accomplish others' goals or what other people tell you to accomplish. You're doing what other people have told you who to be. Like, for instance, your parents tell you to be a doctor and you're failing at school and doing that because that is not your own goal. That is what you're told who to be. So that's a whole other topic. Now, let's say you've identified what you want and you go after it, and you're still feeling like you're failing with things like opening a business, working on loving yourself, losing weight, and there's no doubt that you are failing. Like, it's not happening. You are not going anywhere with your goals. You're just stagnant and you're stuck. In order to stop failing, You have to own your failure to move forward. If you don't accept where you are, you can't make realistic changes or expectations for how to go about things. You need to sit and look at yourself and say, I failed, and that's okay. Failure does not reflect my self-worth. I'm not a terrible person. Lots of people fail, and it's okay. I failed, and that is okay. It's okay to fail. What's not okay is to not get back up. Failure is not how many times you failed. Failure is defined by not trying again. Now, failing teaches us something. It teaches us where we are going wrong. Maybe we're being unrealistic, or we're not achieving what we want, but what others want of us, like I had mentioned earlier. You have to identify what you learned and how you can change where you failed at moving forward. So where did you fail? For instance, when you are trying to work on loving yourself, you notice you keep repeating the same negative pattern. So you're doing some tools that you learned, like you're, saying some affirmations, or you're being kinder to yourself, but you notice that you're still repeating the same negative patterns and the same negative thoughts. So even though you say one positive thing to yourself, you're still calling yourself an idiot and that you are never going anywhere, and you still are entertaining this negative belief that you are unlovable and you're worthless. That's why you're not getting anywhere, is because you're not acknowledging this area where you're in the wrong. You have to acknowledge where you're in the wrong. Maybe with starting your own business, you are not getting the right help. You're not asking the right questions. That's where you can identify where you're failing. You only can move forward and succeed is when you recognize the areas you're failing at and how can you change. In order to succeed, you have to see the areas that you're bad at and be real with yourself. You don't have to tell anybody else. Just be real with yourself so you can correct them. You have to tell your ego to take a back seat and to calm down, so that way you can figure out where the problem areas are. And like I said, it is okay to fail. Just really own that feeling. I failed. And don't make it a definite thing where this is your personality trait. It's not your personality trait. It is something that is going on currently right now that you failed. It doesn't mean that you are a failure. It does not define your character, and it does not define your self-worth. And those are the things you need to remind yourself. Get comfortable with telling yourself, I failed, and that's okay. I'm going to do better next time. I'm going to do better tomorrow. This is what I'm going to do better at. And that's me personally, how I cope with failure, is I'm comfortable telling myself I failed, so I know where my problem areas are and what I can do better for next time. I don't sit and feel terrible about myself. I just own it, and then I say, okay, what can I do moving forward? And you deal with those feelings for however long you want. If you want to be sad for a while, be sad for a while. And also know what you are capable of. So if you recognize and see, oh, I'm not capable of doing this certain thing, acknowledge that and say, this, like for instance, let's say you want to go to space, but you're 80 years old and that time has passed. Acknowledge that. Okay, I didn't take the right steps to be able to go to space, so now I need to shift my goals and think about something that's more realistic. Be okay with that. I failed at completing this goal, and that is okay. And that's a whole other topic about acceptance, which we'll definitely go into. But owning failure and being okay with it and admitting it, and the more you admit it, the more comfortable you'll get with it. You'll be able to make it realistic expectations for yourself and really start to succeed. So what do you guys think? Leave it on the comments below, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share with someone that you think may need it. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye guys!